to rumble. It's that time of year, if you're watching this in real time, where advent calendars are all the rage. So I decided to create one for Black Friday week, which is what we're in now in the run up to Thanksgiving in the US of A. So I've created a Black Friday advent calendar. Now it's going to look a little bit different to your traditional advent calendar. The principle, however, is the same. A new virtual door will open every day starting today. If you're watching this in real time, it's the 25th of November, 2024. So starting today, window will open every day for the next 7 days, and a new deal will go up every single day as well. So the deal that's up at the moment will come down tomorrow, and its replacement deal goes up, and there's up to 50% off. So today there's 50% off the photo reading, which is one of the most requested. So catch that while you can. If photo reading has been on your to-do list, and it's one of the things you want to learn to read at 25,000 words per minute, get through whole books in just 5 minutes. Yep, 5. And then learn strategies to remember and recall what you've read. So if you're a speaker, trainer, coach, consultant, or you have a busy job where you actually need to be on the ball and anticipate what's coming, deal with what you're already dealing with, and stay on top of things, photo reading is perfect for that. Now, I've got 6 more slots to fill and lots of potential things I could fill them with. So what I want to do is, let me just do that. I've got a little list. Let me just grab the first one that I can see there. There we go. Start with this one. Okay, so these are some of the potential things that could be next up. Now, I've whittled it down from over 50, and these are like the top 20 or whatever it is. I didn't actually count them. So have a listen, and this is on my Facebook page of the post. You can go and comment on that as well. I'm very quickly going to go through, just have a listen, see which one sort of resonates that you fancy, because there are 6 more slots. So we've got, most of these, I put one day just so it's clear, but pretty much majority of the workshops are one day. There are some programs as well, and they tend to be 4, 7 or 10 part. And there's a couple that are shorter, but we've got the one day practitioner insider secrets workshop. So that's how I create my courses, programs, all of that sort of stuff, going from blank sheet of paper to finished product in terms of the programs that some of, the things that you're seeing here. How do I do that? How do I create that? What's the process? What's the mechanism? What's some of the technology that sits behind it? All of that good stuff. And so that's a practitioner insider secrets. We've got the half-day resilience workshop, so that takes you through the resilience protocol. We've got the genius code, which is again is a shorter workshop. We've got the one-day money breakthrough workshop. We've got the happy for no reason, which is a real lovely practical one based on the work of Marcy Shimoff. We've got rapid reading made easy. So it's almost like a condensed companion to the photo reading, again, half a day. So that's a really nice one if you're not going to go full deep dive into the 3-day photo reading workshop. What else we got? We've got abundance for life. That's just, sorry, that says for life. That should be for life. The All Access Pass, which is over 60 workshops, and that continues to grow. As I run new workshops and programs, they get added into the All Access, as long as they're programs that I've created. If I've licensed something from someone else, I have done with Resilience, Happy for No Reason, Genius Code, Abundance for Life. But as long as I've created the workshops, everything you see here, with the exception of what I've just said, they get uploaded into the All Access Pass. And when I did that first, that was a lifetime deal. So that one might make a brief return. We've got the one-day relationship workshop and the Living the Law of Attraction. Again, that's a licensed course, Paul Sheely and Jack Canfield. So all of these, well, not all of these, but 6 of these could be in the stack that gets uploaded into the Advent calendar. So that's list number 1. Let me see. I'm going to pull up list number 2. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. Or these are some of the other contenders. We've got the one-day Huna workshops. That's the Huna and Ho'oponopono. So teaches more about Huna, the practices, Huna magic, the symbols, etc. And it's very experiential. So you get not just to talk about it, but you experience that as well with the higher self therapy, what I call the full-on version of Ho'oponopono, with the stage and the Avaiku and the Arca connections, all of that good stuff. So you learn more about the discipline of Huna. and experience it for yourself. So lovely and transformational. We've got the 1-day magic and gratitude workshop. So these workshops are all video webinar workshops. The 1-day fearless public speaking workshop. So if going live, being on stage, or even just speaking at meetings and speaking to your team is one of the things that you want to improve on, get better at, or next level, then that one's definitely for you. We've got the 10-part Raising Your Money Vibration series. That's 10 modules. Each of the modules about 2.5 hours, thereabouts. The 1-day core issue therapy breakthrough day. So that's very experiential, takes you through the core issue therapy process. The 1-day banish procrastination workshop. The reason I'm laughing is when I ran that in real life, I think 3 or 4 people came. Like, I hired the hotel room and everything. Now, don't get me wrong, it was an amazing workshop. Everybody loved it. I got TK Maxx, bless them, to sponsor me. And it gave me some gift vouchers and some stuff because they have great office supplies. And so I had all of it. It was amazing. I'm not kidding you. People are like, oh yeah, I was meaning to book on that. Oh yeah, when was it? Honestly, so I should have known better. But this is, of course, a video webinar version. So we got the fearless, banish procrastination workshop, the intuition accelerator series, the 1-day MBS Energy Fest. That's the mind, body, spirit, and soul breakthrough. We used to run that as an in-person workshop, ran it every year for 10 years. And then when we went into lockdown, we did it as a video webinar version. So that's myself and clairvoyant Gina Batt. So you can take that one online. So we used to run it the first weekend of December every year. So around this sort of time, I feel a bit like, oh my God, I should be getting ready for MBS. We've got the 7-part chakra balance series and the 3-day photo reading class. So that's the one that's live right now, the photo reading. So that's coming down tomorrow afternoon. It's going to come down about midday. See if I can keep that as a cycle. So it's the morning, early morning for those of you in the United States, and enough time for you to have gotten up and had your breakfast for those of you in the UK, maybe be moving on to lunch or brunch. So yeah, which of those, because there are 6 slots that I can fill this with. I've got an idea. I mean, I'd written out what I thought I was going to do with this a couple of days ago. I've been mulling it over, but actually I've already done the courses because I ran them, I designed them per se. So I'm thinking it's not necessarily just for me to decide what would people actually want. What are the ones you think, oh yeah, I would love to get my hands on that one and do that one. Of course, if you've got the all access pass, you've got all of these with the exception of the ones licensed to Learning Strategies Corporation. But outside of that, if you haven't got the all access pass, where you got all of this at your fingertips, a lifetime deal, then which of these would you like to have in your stack? Now, the post on my Facebook page, I've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, etc. So it's all, you might just go and say C, D, J, H, for example, or you can do it by name. But if you head on to my Facebook page, have a little bit of Scott, should be right at the top if you're watching this in real time, and then you can see the whole list written out there and tell me which you would prefer. Now, just very, very quickly, because I know people often go, well, does it really work online? So what I've done is I've just very quickly pulled up just a couple of testimonials from people who have done workshops with me online on demand. So I was not there physically. They were not there live. They were in their home, their office, and they're watching. So this is from one that I did back in the day, the photo reading DVD. Now, this was a hybrid, part photo reading, and then we did some other stuff about memory and intuition, etc. And somebody was watching this from their home a couple of years after I recorded it. I'm going to read you what they said. Now, they are a barrister and a lawyer. So trust me, when they know what courses are all about. They've probably done their fair share of the traditional yawn fest courses. I always say expect the unexpected with mine. So they said, I had a wonderful time this weekend, feeling like a fly on the wall at your photo reading workshop. I can't believe all of that happened in one day. Wow. Still get goosebumps when I read this one. I loved the page 23 moment and cried during your Huna session. I need some of that pod and poc stuff, please. Now, the pod and poc stuff is something called access consciousness. So there's a belief change that I include on the photo reading workshop. So for those of you who are purchasing the deal today, there is a Huna segment in there. Huna, belief change, access consciousness, and the page 23 was seriously one of those classic you could not make this up moment. So the one that they're talking about was filmed in a live classroom, and I had a team of cameramen. I actually did have a team of cameramen for that one, and they were in the room, so they were filming what's going on. But what had happened is there's somebody there who worked in IT, so very logical, very analytical. And I'm talking about intuition and how, intuition will really enhance your photo reading practice. And you're going to notice that, things almost just lift themselves off the page. You know just where to go with the book and the material. Often it opens at the right page, or you hear that intuitive voice. And I'm standing in the room. I can see where it is in my mind's eye now. I'm standing in the room. So I'm sort of facing this way as I see it in my mind's eye. And they are sitting over there in the second row. And I can see them very clearly. And I'm watching, just watching everyone, but I see them. And as I'm talking about intuition, I can see them sort of like, oh, whatever, this is what I paid for. And he rolled his eyes. I mean, I was talking about accessing the intuition, because that's really going to enhance your photo reading practice. And of course, I teach people how to do that. He rolled his eyes, and I was like, okay, then this is going to be interesting. Because when people, I knew something interesting going to happen, didn't know what. So I'm teaching the rest of the segment, and then he starts doing what I call the Thunderbird, where it's like, and so eventually I say, is everything all right? You okay? Yeah. And then he says, it's sort of in a bit of a daze. He says, page 23 is missing. I said, sorry. He said, the book. And he holds up the the exact one I think is in my suitcase out there, page 20. But he held up the photo reading book, and he said, page 23 is missing. And I said, oh, no, what I think you'll find, let me just show you, for example, just open this at random, but it's perfect. If you look at these, that way, if you look at these corners, one of them is numbered, the other is not. But you can extrapolate from page 84 that this one is page 85. It doesn't physically say that. So I said, oh, no, not every page is numbered. And he said, no, you don't understand. From page 23 is missing. Now, his book looked like everyone else's. So I take a deep breath and I go over, all set to go, look here, let me show you what I mean. And I open the book and it said page 21, and then it jumped to something like page 49. So I'm like, uh-oh, because we're just getting started with the photo reading workshop. Now, I ship these in from the United States, and they come by courier. So it's not that I could click my fingers and get another batch. And I was thinking, if we've got a faulty batch here, then all of the books I've just shipped in, potentially faulty. So I take a deep breath and I say to everyone else in the room, I says, can you please check your textbook and let me know if you've got page 23. My heart is racing. Because look, it's not that I won't be able to teach the class, but when you've got pages missing from your book, it kind of messes with your head a bit, and you feel that you're missing out. Well, what was in it? What? So everybody's checking the book and they're like, no, it's fine. My book is fine. So I then said to him, I said, how did you know that? And he said, well, you were talking about intuition. And I was thinking, what a load of old beep. Well, he didn't use an expletive, but, he was thinking it's a load of rubbish, intuition, whatever. He works in IT, very analytical. So he then said, while you were talking, I heard a voice in my head that said, go to page 23. And he said, at first he tried to ignore it. And then the voice kept saying, look at page 23, go to page 23, look at page 23. So eventually he kind of takes a deep breath, thinks, okay, enough already. Let me look at page 23. And sure enough, page 23 is missing. Now, don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Oops, it says overnight. And this book is many years old now. It's the correct edition, but I got this edition has been in print for many years. It says over 900,000 in print. We're well past 1 million books in print, I'm sure now. I emailed Learning Strategies when I got home and I said, hey, you might have a faulty batch. I explained what happened. So far as I know, they've never found any other faulty books. They've never come back to me and said, hey, yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't contact them for an apology. It was just a beautiful demonstration of exactly what I was talking about, the intuition. So there are some wonderful things that happen on the workshop. And even if you weren't there, you get to experience those. And as the solicitor, the lawyer is saying here, feeling like you're a fly in the wall. Did you like the fact I found a fly for this one? So that's that. And where it says, hello, your name here, you could be in that fly on the wall position. And, you know, I have had people watch things and just say they were moved and they actually felt as though they were in the room. They almost forget. I'm now can hear Eminem, Lose Yourself. They almost forget that they're not there and they're just totally into it. So that's just an example of what potentially it feels like to do. I can't speak for anybody else's online workshop because, quite frankly, I'm sure all of us have been on an online workshop where you're like, oh, this is as dull as dishwater. And you just like, and if it wasn't, you know, I know some organizations like you've got to have your camera on and be sitting there to attention. But there are those funny memes. There's one I was watching the other day. There's a woman, so she's eating a bowl of cereal. She's got a bonnet on her head. She's wrapped up in her house coat. I call it a dressing gown, but I think in the States they call it a house coat. And she's listening to a Zoom call. And no makeup or anything like that. And then you can hear the voice coming from the host call. It's a comedy meme, but it says, hey, can everyone switch their cameras on? We'd like to see your smiley face. And she's like, leaps up, legs it into the bathroom, drags off the bonnet, scrapes a comb through her hair, pulls on this top, throws on some eyelashes or whatever it was. And they're saying like, Tanisha, are you there? Are you there? And she switched on the camera, like, I'm here. But I think most of us have had those moments where it's so dull, it doesn't hold your attention. This is not that. This is a whole other ball game. So that's just an example of perhaps what you can expect. Let me see. Oh, yes, there was another one. Let me see if I think that's the one I was looking for. Is that the one? Yes, so this was somebody, I was in a SaaS group, software as a service group, and I did a little mini offer to them and I offered them again online. This one just happens to be about the photo reading as well, but I've done hundreds of courses since 2005, which is how long I've been doing online coaching and online training, online therapy. And so they were saying to the group, because this is a group of tech professionals, software, apps, and some people are consumers of that, other people are creators of the apps and SaaS products. And so they were saying, well, what about electronic stuff? What about ebooks? So this person who purchased the on DVD where they take themselves through it, they said, regarding ebooks and other electronic forms of reading, it is covered in her program. I recommend you, her being me, Marilyn Devonish, I recommend you check it out if you haven't already, exclamation mark. I just purchased her program and I'm already getting great value from it. So seriously, even though I'm not physically there, the programs deliver value, they deliver results, and they have the most incredible things happen. So that's a little bit of a flavor of what to expect. And also, and this was someone who was taking exams and they failed and were obviously upset and distraught and were potentially also told that, hey, maybe you're just not cut out for this. And they thought, well, thank you very much. I believe that I am. And so they came to me and said, hey, can you help? And I said, well, I'm not running a workshop at the moment, but there is this online version. They sat their exam a few weeks later, just following what I said. And there's a much longer testimony of this floating around somewhere on social media. But the extract was, they said, when it came to sitting my exams a few weeks later, I was calm and focused. Thank you, Marilyn. This is totally inspiring. And again, they said, I felt like I was at the workshop with everyone. I felt like I was really there. And that's what I say to people. I say, look, you've got a couple of choices. When you purchase an online program, particularly if it's something longer like the 3-day photo reading or a 1-day workshop, if you know you haven't got the time to sit and be immersed and act as though you're actually in the class, one of the things I suggest that you do is just have it playing in the background. And if we put it in photo reading terms, set your purpose that you're hearing it by osmosis and that you're taking in all of the information that is relevant to you, such that when you come to give it your fuller attention, it's almost like, you know, if you're revising, if you're a student and you've learned, well, hopefully if you've learned something, but if you're not learning easily when you're studying, this is for you, photo reading. But like a student, you learn something, then when you go back to do your revision, you say, oh yeah, I know this, oh yeah, that makes sense, so it makes it easier. So even if you go, yeah, haven't got time for it right now, play it in the background by osmosis. If you're somebody who can do a bit of multitasking and you don't have to have zen-like silence, that's what I suggest you do. But the thought for them of going back and sitting the exam, having failed and gotten quite negative feedback, they were anxious and nervous about just thinking about the exam. And it could be that you're going to be doing an interview, for example, standing up to deliver a presentation, whatever it might be. And again, I wasn't there. I was minding my own business, doing what I was doing. And they were then saying, well, this is the result. They felt calm, they felt focused, and they passed that exam with ease. And there's a really lovely one. I haven't added it to this stack, but there was some of you might know Rachel CK, who is an educator. She called herself the oily queen, and she does doTERRA oils. She's a mum, and she speaks to people who are going through cancer. And she had a presentation coming up, and it was a couple of years ago. It would have been January 2020, because I was on holiday in Gran Canaria. So I'm sat by the pool. I opened my iPad I had a book, like a Kindle book, and I open my iPad and a message pops up on the top, and it's from Rachel. And she says, I've just spent the day with you. And I genuinely thought, because it's a big pool, and I genuinely thought Rachel and her family had turned up at the same resort and they'd spotted me and my friend Gina. So I'm like, so I have a look around, and then I go back and I finish reading the message. She said, I've just taken your Fearless Public Speaking as one-day workshop. It's amazing. And then she delivered the presentation a few weeks later and was fantabulous. And she wrote a wonderful testimonial. Again, I wasn't there. I'm on holiday, sitting by the pool, the last holiday that many people had, because we all know what happened in March 2020 when all of that stuff hit the fan. So yeah, it's amazing across a range of topics. It just so happens I should have put the Rachel one in here as well, because it seems like I'm just talking about photo reading. The reason I chose these is that's the deal for today. Actually, let me just see if I can do that quickly. Just so I can show you. In some, I like people to speak in their own words. Ooh, I wonder if that's the one. I'll see if this might be the one. Are you the one? Yes, it is. All right, so I'm going to put that there, and then what I'm going to do is take that off there and put myself there. So this is Rachel. So it says, for those of you who, let me make it a bit larger, hold on. So for those of you who were asking about my big talk in January and shared my joy that I was so happy how it had gone, Marilyn Devonish is the awesome lady that enabled me to breathe, think and talk all at the same time, and now you can do it too, exclamation mark. Whether you get nervous in social settings, social, my mistake, not Rachel, social settings, small groups or big stages, these techniques work. I am tapping into what I learned almost every day now. What's holding you back from sharing your passions or knowledge? Rachel CK, educator, natural life coach, awesome mama, oil lover. Not long after that, Rachel then did a radio show. I was one of her first guests on the show. She now does her own talks, workshops, etc. She's amazing, always was amazing. And this was just a vehicle to help bring that amazingness out. And that's her on the big stage, having taken herself through the one-day Fearless Public Speaking workshop, whilst I was sitting by the pool. So when I tell you that these deliver results online, on demand, via video webinar, I say that because that's what I've experienced as my clients go through these programs. So there you have it. That's just a little flavor of what to expect with regards to this. So if you are you can go and have a look. See, now the page doesn't have a huge amount on it because it will say day one, and that says, you know, today photo reading. Then it says day two to be revealed, day three to be revealed. So as each day rolls, as one comes down, I'll be revealing what's for day 2, and then once that rolls, I'll put up day 3. So my suggestion is bookmark the page. It's it's going along the bottom of the ticker tape as well, but it's www.marilyndevonish.thrivecart.com/advent-calendar. So if you head over to that page, if you happen to be watching this after the live and you're not watching it in real time, there'll be a different deal up than the one I've been speaking about. But, you know, for the next 7 days, it will change on rotation. So yeah, if you have a preference about what should fill the next 6 slots, and by the way, it's 50% off for the photo reading, 60% for those of you who are on my e-newsletter list, because I emailed you out an additional code, the exclusive e-newsletter subscriber code last night, well, last night stroke this morning, depending on your time zone. And for those of you who are lifetime members in my Facebook membership group, you actually get an extra 25% off. So it's 75% off for you as well. So this is a way, I thought, a really nice way for you to curate, in a way, your own Black Friday deal. Rather than me going, here, this is the deal, you get to choose, really. So you might go, oh, look, photo reading, that's for me. Or it might not be for you. You might go, oh my God, I totally want to do the HUNA or the fearless public speaking, or yes, I'm a practitioner, I want to create my own products, whatever it might be. So it gives you a chance to, you know, pick and mix a bit, like the back in the day, the old Woolworths approach. Those peppermint creams were delish. And yeah, this is a delicious deal. So grab it while you can. Bookmark the page so that you can revisit. And when you revisit, if you just left it open on your toolbar, at least refresh, because if you just leave it static sitting there, it's always going to look like the same deal. So refresh it every day, and then what it will do, it will change the deal. And of course, the pricing is going to change, because, you know, 50% off the photo reading at full price is $8.50. That's a whole different proposition to 50% off something that's $197. So do refresh, because that's how you'll see the new deals. And if you've got any questions, I hope I've answered all the questions, all the queries. But yeah, if you've got any questions or queries, you know where to find me. You can put them in the comments or in the chat, and I will answer those. But be quick, because the clock is ticking on this one. So yeah, I just thought we'd have a little bit of fun, do a little bit different. You've also got the opportunity, when you book, you can actually, if you choose to, because I always think a bit of a live coaching is a nice opportunity. So what you can do when you land on the page is there is an opportunity to book a live online one-to-one coaching session for half price as well. It's optional, but it's there once you've selected the course that you want to do. Now, my thinking with this one is you might want to do the coaching session on the subject of the thing that you have purchased. So if, let's say, if you're purchasing today, then wonderful, you can go through the photo reading course and then do a coaching session with regards to photo reading. So that might be one way to use it. Or let's say you go through the HUNA, then you might want to actually do a HUNA session and experience the HUNA and access consciousness belief change. If it was about the practitioner insider secrets, you may want to do the 1-hour coaching session around your thoughts and ideas for your course, your program, the thing that you want to produce, or questions you have about something if you're already partway through or in that process. So that's my thinking around it. Whatever you've purchased, you can do an additional bonus session focused on that to help you get the most out of the workshop, the program, etc. So yes, anyway, I shall leave it there. If you know someone who could benefit from some professional development, personal development, spiritual development, learning a new skill, enhancing the skills they already have, then please feel free to share this information with them. Send them the link. That would be very much appreciated. I know some of you are also on, you know, Thrive. I use ThriveCart, so that's got a a partner program as well. So you share, you get 10%. So if you're in that, then go into your back office and use your link, because that then kind of triggers off the dynamic to say it was from you. And if that's not your thing, then just feel free to share anyway. And if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. That would also be very much appreciated. Well, I shall leave it there. I look forward to working with those of you who would like to take advantage of this wonderful offer and have a play with the Black Friday Advent calendar. So let me have your thoughts. You can also, of course, DM me as well. But yeah, let me know if you've got any preferences to what should fill the next 6 slots. And we've got about 13, 14 hours before we rotate away from the photo reading and put the new deal up. So the way it works, there's a deal up, that one comes down and a new deal goes up, then that one comes down and a new deal goes up, that one comes down and a new deal goes up. That's how it's going to work. So yeah, grab the ones that you fancy when they're up and they are available, and they're going to be up for 24 hours. All right, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for sharing. Marilyn Devonish, the Neuro Success Coach from transformationstm.com, and the main website is TRANCE, F for Freddy, so FORMATIONS When you land on the website, there's a red Watch New button, usually top right. Click that, a panel slides out and you can have a scroll. I haven't added this yet because I only launched this yesterday, but I will add this to the transformationstm.com Watch New. So it will take you then directly through to the Advent calendar. And if you're not already on the e-newsletter list, then if you look top left, have a little bit of a scroll, you'll see where you can sign up to the free e-newsletter as well. And that's where when I launch something new, you get the exclusive additional 10% code that's on top of that, which is how you then get 60% off the photo reading today. Right, well, I will catch you all later. Wishing you a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching.